If you get a chance to get in front of a complete stranger on this free platform, are you going to miss that opportunity or are you going to get it? If people would just put 20% more effort into an individual video, they could get 10 times more views. And if you could have an over 10% click-through rate and an over 75% average percentage viewed, then you can really trigger the algorithm. You got to just press record.
So what are the different metrics that you think the YouTube algorithm is judging to decide whether or not they'll show your video to users in the suggested feed?
Yeah, here's the cool thing. YouTube themselves have revealed the criteria for how the algorithm works, but a lot of people don't know this. The first one, and the often misunderstood one, is they consider watch history and previous viewer behavior. So it's not just about being the coolest viral trend, it's about the fact that people are different. So if you are helping people with weight loss, intermittent fasting, helping people get in keto, when YouTube's recommending videos, after someone's viewer behavior of searching for keto diets, keto meal plans, then YouTube takes that data and will start recommending similar content. When you start to understand that aspect, that this is why having a niche and having boundaries around the type of content that you are creating is so powerful, because you want to start getting recommended along other content. When people start to go deep in a particular subject that they love, they don't watch just one video about it. They spin off and watch multiple videos about it. Your goal is to get recommended and discovered along other people. Tactically, this also could be why you react to or even commentate on and join the conversation, because your goal is to get your video recommended with other videos that are ranking. So number one is people's watch history and their previous viewing behavior. Number two is click-through rate. Bottom line, YouTube has two major metrics, click-through rate and watch time. So it's, are people clicking on this video? One of the cool things YouTube's doing right now is it's recommending a lot of brand new channels and small channels. This is totally true. Channels with only a few subscribers, channels with only a handful of views, they're showing up on my watch page. I will keep it vague, but I was following a scandal that an organization is in right now. I now, because I've just consumed one person talking about that, I'm getting recommended all kinds of other channels. This is me. I'm meeting total strangers. So people feel overwhelmed, like I can't break out, I can't grow. It's not true. But you want to be talking about the right topics, being aware of the zeitgeist in your industry, being aware of the psychology in your industry. You don't chase trends unrelated, but talking about the new and the now and understanding how to do culture surfing is important. YouTube is recommending brand new channels, but here is the painful part for you listening to this. If you get a chance on this free platform to get in front of a complete stranger, are you going to miss that opportunity or are you going to get it? I feel like Eminem right now. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow, because opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Yo, good news is it doesn't just come once in a lifetime. But what I've noticed is that sometimes when those channels get recommended, I'm like, that title doesn't really grip me. That thumbnail is not that great. And those are going to be the two metrics first. And actually, there's three metrics. It's title, thumbnail, but the biggest one is topic. Knowing what is included in that topic, right time, right place. So it's the topic itself, and then a good title that makes it even more interesting. Like, that's an irresistible video. You want to get the click, and those are what you're optimizing for. What videos am I talking about? What title? What thumbnail? And then you want to keep the viewer's attention. You know, James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, said a quote that really kind of changed my life. It's something I've applied, but it can be applied to us as YouTube creators. And it really reminded me when I'm in a rush. And the quote was, oftentimes the difference between good and great is an extra round of revision. When Mr. Beast was interviewed on the Joe Rogan podcast, he said if people would just put 20% more effort into an individual video, they could get 10 times more views. So I think there's something about when I say, how can you keep attention? As you continue to post videos and commit to getting 1% better with every upload, what it would mean is actually going back to your audience retention curve and noticing if there's any significant dips or if there's any points, because then it starts helping you say, okay, maybe I should cut those parts off, or I'm going too long. But you want to be brief, be bright, be fun, and be done. You want that content to hold attention. And if you could have an over 10% click-through rate and an over 75% average percentage viewed, then you can really trigger the algorithm. The other thing that is interesting is longer form videos, if they're generally good, call it an hour or 2 hours, can also just get 15 minutes of watch time on average. That'd be the average view duration. And that's not a bad thing. The percentage is pretty low. The percentage is much lower, but minutes matter most. So YouTube just wants time on the platform, period. And so of course, percentage viewed would also help if it was a 10-minute video and most people watch till 8 minutes. But if you could just keep people on videos for 20 minutes, the average excellent amount of time on YouTube is around 5. So it's 4x what like the typical short video. So in YouTube's eyes, they're just like, who cares if the video is long? This video on average, people are watching 20 minutes in a world where there's a million other things to do. This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. StreamYard is our go-to platform here at Think Media for live streaming to Facebook and YouTube and for recording our video podcast. It has an incredibly easy to use interface for built-in branding, transitions, text lower thirds, and seamlessly bringing on guests. And they just added an awesome new feature called local recording. This allows you to take the quality to another level by separating out your audio and video from your guests, giving you more control over your content for later use. This feature is perfect for video and podcast creators. And so to get a special deal on StreamYard right now and to see all the features that are included, just go to streamwiththink.com. But the fourth one almost nobody knows about, and it's viewer satisfaction. And one of the things YouTube does is surveys. And here's why this is interesting. In some cases, maybe somebody will watch 30 minutes of a video. However, when they're done with the video, they're mad because the video maybe was really good at keeping you watching and continue to promise you value. And we've probably all been in something like that, where maybe somebody was like, and I'm about to tell you the secret
of how you can lose 50 pounds in 2 seconds.
And trust me, in just a second, but before we get there, and then once you get there, like the payoff is a letdown. And the surveys let them know not just how many minutes did you spend on the platform, but how did you feel afterwards? And this is kind of cool when you think about the developers at Google and YouTube. What they want to happen is not just time on platform, long as possible. So minutes matter most. Get people watching your videos, keep them binging your videos. There's tactics like creating series. They don't just watch one video, they watch multiple. That's another metric that's kind of more obscure. Average video viewed per viewer. So it's like they don't just watch one video on your channel, but on average they watch 4. So it's a better signal because it's not just the minutes, but like they binge your content. They go deep in your library. So if you can connect through end cards and different things, and series and part 1s and part 2s. But the satisfaction is interesting because the final thing they want is they want to know that if they've spent all that time, that they're satisfied after, and check this out, they want you to come back. So the worst possible thing that could happen in YouTube's eyes is that your experience after hanging on the platform made you not want to come back. They want that satisfaction. The final thing is this: replace the word algorithm with people. You're not optimizing for the algorithm, you're optimizing for people. If they get a video, you start getting into a new hobby, you start getting into running. How do I train for a marathon as a woman in her 40s? And YouTube figures out that's your ambition. So then YouTube starts sending you running shoe videos and nutrition videos and training videos from all kinds of different creators, and you're pumped. But ultimately, you're optimizing for people. So if she's satisfied, if she clicks on the video and then enjoys it and then is satisfied and comes back, and now you become her go-to expert, go-to helper, go-to friend that is helping her reach that result and all the ancillary things that would come around that goal, then people like her and all kinds of other runners of all different ages as well kind of start getting recommended, and boom, you've hacked the algorithm, your channel is growing, views are increasing, and you're continually optimizing for those metrics.
I love what you're saying because algorithms change all the time. But if you think about people and human behavior, that stuff, it never really changes. And so it's like a way safer, more sustainable strategy.